A lot of this is super personal to me. This is like opening up my diary to the public. Your mind has no limit when it comes to what you want to journal. Why am I so qualified to teach you this? Well, I've been journaling from 2007 to 2020. That is 13 years of journaling experience that I'm going to pack all into this one short video to teach you how to journal in the easiest simple steps where you can start today. This video is for anyone that has never journaled before but has heard of it, and it's also for people who have journaled before but fell off the bandwagon and are trying to get back into the routine. In this video, I'm going to show you the different types of journaling. So I've been journaling for about 13 years now. There's this misconception that journaling is a one-size-fits-all, which is completely false. Journaling can be so many different things. It can be bullet journaling, it can be gratitude journaling, it can be your morning minutes, it can be writing a letter to yourself, it can literally be a to-do list for today, or it can be a few sentences of what makes you happy. Now that you know the different types of journaling, here are 6 things you should know as a beginner. So be sure to stay for the next few minutes because I get to show you my journals, and they're quite juicy, I would say. 1, make sure you put down the date. The date is so important, and I regret so much going back through my old journals of when I was 7 years old, 8 years old, and I did not write the date down. Like, I literally had to look back at who I was writing about and who was in my friend group to remember what grade I was in when it was written. The second and biggest tip I have is to make it an experience instead of a chore. The only reason people start journaling and then stop after 3 days, it's because it becomes a chore. It's not fun. It feels like something they have to do. So before you journal, I recommend maybe having some tea, some coffee, light a candle, something that makes it you time, something that is fun. As for number 3, spiral notebooks are superior. I personally prefer spiral bound because they're 1, more flexible, they are water resistant, and they last longer. So you don't have to worry about pages flipping back and forth. As for the 4th step, pen, not pencil. Ink will not fade, pencil will. For number 5, pick a cover you actually want to write in. Like when you look at a textbook, you don't want to write in that. You don't want to read that. You want to make sure that when you get your notebook, it speaks to you. It's something you actually want to open up and own. The 6th and final rule is that there are no rules to journaling. Literally, you can do anything you want. The great thing about journaling is that it is your own self-therapy. It is your safe space and no one is judging you. No matter what you say, how you write, the speed you write at, even if you can read it or not, it doesn't really matter because it is your safe space to just really release everything you're thinking. So journaling can look like anything, and mine has looked different over the years, and throughout this video I'm going to show you what that looked like from 2007 to 2020 and how my ways of journaling have changed. And whatever way kind of suits you, you can try that out yourself. So I was 8 years old in 2007. It started off like this. I can have it up at the top here to kind of show you a better visual, but it basically says, I wish I could fly in the clouds. I wish I was a princess. I wish I could sleep all day. And I wish I was a millionaire without an E. And I wish no one was poor. So you can tell I had really good intentions at a very young age, and my drawing skills were 10 out of 10, would recommend. I just realized the whole time I was looking at the wrong end of the camera, and that's something my sister told me to do, but it's fine. We're beginning our YouTube journey now, So this is the juicy journal. This was the age when I became boy crazy, and this goes from 2008 to 2010, this journal. I think I actually wrote better at a younger age because I was less lazy, but I don't know. Once university hit, I just stopped caring and my writing got worse. We'll do a comparison. All right, I take that back. I was never a good penmanship writer, if that's what you call it. Yeah, no, this just proves it. This is just sad. Okay. And at the end of the video, 2008, I put down a list of things that I was doing that day. So that's another way of journaling. 8 a.m., getting picked up with something really, really juicy. You know it gets bad when you see hearts and then people's initials in the hearts in your journal. That's kind of when you know things get juicy. Also, all the names mentioned in this video, I'm gonna put different names because I feel like some people still follow me from like my elementary school. So for confidentiality reasons, we'll change the name. Okay, so it seems like 2009 was the time where I broke out and became very boy obsessed. Because it's all the names that I see right now are just about boys. January 21st, 2009. Eek! Jim has a crush on me. Brenna has a huge crush on Jenny. Huh. I told her and I thought it was the right thing to do, I think. Girl, that was not the right thing to do. Oh, this is a good one too. October 1st, 2009. I'm in grade 6 now. I do not like Jim because he is a jerk. No, a triple jerk. Ha 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 ha. You're so mean. I do have a little crush on Devin. Not to be rude or anything, but I never had a crush on this type of person before. But now I do. Weird, but cool. I can't believe I just wrote that. So apparently 2009 was when I started affirmations for myself. Now affirmations are just statements that put you in a very positive light. So the idea is that when you're not feeling so great, you say these affirmations out loud, these specific sentences like I am enough, I am worthy, I am a good person, I am love. And the idea is that within that repetition, you're almost feeling into what that actually is in order to bring yourself back to that mindset. So in this case, I wrote a little note to myself. It says, okay, Asia, you know who you are. You are Asia. Fun, wild, beautiful, crazy, confident, happy, smart, bubbly, trendsetter, positive, klutz, boy crazy. I like how I admit I'm boy crazy. That's great. I love that. You know what? I learned true acceptance at a very young age. So at the age of 13, I had kind of moved on from talking about boys, and I think I was really early in my self-development because for some reason this one I have books that I want to read, but notice how I like, oh, the paper just fell out, that's not good. It says August 5th, 2012, books to search up, Great Gatsby. Okay, so it's important to understand that journaling can sometimes literally be what have you been doing for this past while. What's on your mind? One great prompt that I like to use is how are you feeling right now? And another thing I used to do is I used to make 4 different quadrants, and one would be physical, what would I rate it 1 out of 10? And then I talk about why I'm feeling that way. And then spiritual, what am I feeling from 1 to 10? And why am I feeling that way? Then I would do my mental health. So I think about, okay, emotionally outside of just like my body and my spirit or whatever religion or whatever you believe in, what am I that mentally? And then I would talk about academics. The Asian in me clearly decided that academics was something outside of the physical body, the mental body, and the spiritual body, because for some reason it had its own box. And then how I was doing academically, because I definitely drove myself to the ground throughout all of elementary school, high school, and university in order to get top grades. Asian mentality. So 2014, I think this is when I just started to get sad in life because this sounds like a bit of a bummer. But yeah, age 15. I actually wrote the age and the date. This is smart. This is what I should have done from the beginning, but I obviously was not well educated in how to journal. It says, I don't really know why I'm doing this. Really, I should be sleeping. 10:30 p.m. Okay, girl, if you're sleeping at 10:30 p.m., that is goals. That is what I aspire to be right now. My life at the age of 15, grade 10. Years from now, I'll probably still be struggling with the whole grade and age thing. Agreed, Asia, you will be. Now that I think of it, I think this is a great time to register my current state. Let's make this a semi-letter to my future self. Freaky, but isn't life freaky? Well, currently I realize I'm not going to be a chemical engineer. Plot twist, I actually went to school for business, but anyway, I totally forgot that happened. And since I don't really know what a chemical engineer does, you can tell at the ripe age of 15, I realized I did not want to be a chemical engineer, and I realized, looking back at it now, I only wanted to be one to make my dad happy. So one thing that's a great example is that I talked about writing a letter to my future self, and that is also another great way to journal. You can literally start off as Dear Asia, or Dear your name. I just want to let you know, this is how I'm feeling. This is like what you want to write to your future self. It can be within 5 years, it can be in 3 years, but whatever you're feeling and you want to tell your future self, you can do. You can also do this in reverse and say, you know, Dear 12-year-old Asia, I really wish maybe you didn't do that one thing, and getting mad over that one thing your sister did maybe wasn't worth it. That's also very therapeutic to write yourself a letter in the past or in the present. I now have 2 journals from 2017. So at this point now, I'm about 18 years old, so we've moved our way a little bit through the end of high school. So one great way to start journaling is to do your self-love list. So this is something I made in 2017, and this I think I started university, and this is actually super duper cute. I don't know if you can see it. But self-love list, things that make me happy. Sunny days, working out, my Christmas lights, things I want in my future. So the prompt is actually called My Future. So it's literally writing down exactly what you want in the future. It can be a car, it can be where you want to live, but it's getting really specific in where that is. So what kind of car, what kind of make, what kind of color, how much do you think it's going to cost? It's just getting really specific in what you want. That is another cool journal prompt you can do. Something that I said in here was things I want in my future. I also want to be confident, brighten people's days, independent, self-reliant, be happy, make people smile. This one's a bit sad, and I just wanted to get out onto paper what I was feeling. So it says, the thrill of diving down into adventure and feeling the rush of something now fade into a slow pace. I feel my soul that once burst into electrifying color and exhilarating light that shine bright ever among the dark realities and shadows of stress that followed after me. Profound, motherfucker. Profound. And as you can tell, my writing has just gotten worse at this point. Compared to what it was back when I was back in 2008. You could tell the writing went down. Okay, so another thing I wrote when I was 18 years old, this was actually a really hard part of my life because my depression was pretty bad at this time. And I was going through a relationship that I didn't quite understand myself. Lost. Am I overthinking this, or am I sick? Or maybe I just want to sleep it off, look to the new day, or put these problems aside and buy myself. It just makes me sick. I used to be sick here, but there's definitely a lot of hard stuff. But yeah, so it's a good way to really self-reflect on what you went through in the past, but also realize what you've overcome, where you are now. So this one is when I was 19 years old. It says May 2018 at the top here. And I'm just gonna read a little excerpt. Basically, May 2018. The only difference from then and now, from last year, is that one, my writing got loopier. I agree. And Asia, girl, it just gets worse. It just gets worse. I did end up getting the person I fantasized about secretly, and I ended up dating him for a while. And I did experience a lot of heartbreak. In fact, I think I experienced heartbreak for most of the relationship before we even broke up. Heartbreak is body ache, and I hurt a lot. Your writing probably gets worse. And also you have more problems with yourself. You got a bit of mental health problems, sexual problems, ex-boyfriend problems, severe acne problems, academic problems, if anything. I'm almost gonna say that shit basically got worse. But then again, who's to say that life gets better? Maybe when I'm 25 and hopefully more of my shit is worked out. 25-year-old Asia, if you do a remake of this video, please let me know because that would be pretty cool. I've been feeling really tired and more annoyed than usual. I've gone to a therapist and I gotta work on meditation. Even though school is almost over, I have a lot of things I need to work on and a lot more to work on myself. This is the last and most important journal entry I'm about to read to you today. This is something that is super personal, and I feel like we all tend to use journaling as a way of healing, and this passage, I believe, is something that resonates with you and is meant for you. And if it does, don't be afraid to hit the like button and that little bell at the bottom there. April 18th, 2009, I don't know if you can see that. It says, Dear Asia, you're happy. Don't ever forget this moment. Your heart, despite beating slow, feels full. Your chest, heavy and ill, is warm with a fuzzy love feeling. Your smile is bright. It spreads across your tired but glowing face. Even with the ugliness of today, you were able to find hope. You found joy within the darkest parts of today. You laughed, you cried, you panicked, but you also loved so hard. You lived today for all it was for. You fought, you dealt with pain, you stepped out of your comfort to seek help. In a world full of sadness and loss, you choose love and resilience. You're going to make it. You're not going to stop trying. You were born to do beautiful things and grow along the way. You're in the direction of healing, and you've prepared yourself for what it is to come. You didn't sit around, you looked for professional help. It's the small things, it's the gains, not the losses.